screens right now. So if you're typing and we don't see it, we apologize. But I don't realize who spoke at the beginning until I end the video and then go back and look at the comments. So hello to any and everybody who has joined.
Right. And I do want to let y'all know also, we're also currently live streaming on YouTube as well. So if you can't catch us on Facebook, catch us on our YouTube page, SNS Love Chronicles. We're live streaming this, on both. So hey, check us out. But I can. Or you want to wait till?
You don't have to start. I was just trying to let some people get on.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Kaychella. Hello to the other 5 that have joined. Me and my husband were sitting here talking. I know we didn't go live last weekend. Hey, sis. I can't see because the thing is far back.
Say B Smith.
Hey, sis. That's my makeup sister. But we were sitting here talking, and it came to my mind about cheaters. And how cheaters operate, stuff like that. So I was telling my husband, said, look, Google, hey T, how you doing? I said, let's look up online, a cheater and what makes you a cheater, what considers you to be a cheater. So we went and Googled, and we're not going to say from where, without even realizing you're cheating or starting to cheat. The first one says secret relationships. Do you want to expound on secret relationships?
Yeah. Secret relationships is one of those subtle ways to about. I guess people don't realize that they're doing something wrong, or they're letting the enemy in. Thus, if your relationship with someone is secret, whether you intended for it to be secret or not, is if you don't act the same way around that person when your spouse is around.
That's a good one.
That can, and like I said, it can be innocent or you think it's innocent. Secret relationships can even be something as simple as a coworker flirting with you and you not shutting it down.
Or you call it my work husband or my work wife, right, or my work boyfriend or my work girlfriend. That's cheating because you wouldn't say that around your significant other. So why would you call them that at work? That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right, Kaychella. If you gotta hide it, it's just simply cheating. No way. No matter how you flip it, toss it, try to reiterate about it, try to say I ain't cheating. I ain't in their house, I ain't in their bed, I ain't having inappropriate conversation. If it got to a point where you're frustrated with your significant other and you're talking to this person, your spouse or your significant other, whatever, don't know about it, then that's cheating. So, the number 2 was hide money. What you was going to say?
No, I was just going to say what you was saying. We're about to go into another one. But
that's fine.
Yeah. Anyway, y'all, yeah, so that's basically it on secret relationships. Number 2 is hiding money. Now, that's not really a problem we have, or a problem. It shouldn't be a problem any married couple should have.
Relationships, period, not just married couples.
What's ours is ours. What's yours is ours. What's mine is ours. Yep. There should be no your money, my money. If you're married and you're saying your money, my money, then y'all togetherness need to be checked. Y'all marriage need to be checked. If you've been married and you're still saying this is my money, that's your money. Whatever y'all bring in, it don't matter who brings in more, it's still y'all's equally.
Or like, for instance, for those who don't know, Shanala is not his daughter. It's his daughter by marriage. And of course, you would never know that's not his biological daughter. But you would never know because he loves her so much. But for instance, I get an income for her, from her father. And when me and my husband got in a relationship and we started to talk about finances and how we're going to do things or whatever, that was one of the things I explained to him so he could know. Because if I'm sitting here she laughing. If I'm sitting here collecting child support money and I'm not letting my significant other know, that's not fair. You can't be like, well, that baby ain't yours, so it ain't none of your business. Well, when he got married, he took on not just me, but my daughter. So, yeah, he needs to know about that income because at the end of the day, God forbid something go on and we need money and something wrong with me, I'm sick, I'm in a coma, God forbid, or anything, and there's a line of income there because I didn't tell him about the line of income, he would never know. You know what I'm saying? So you should be able to talk about that with your significant other. If you got some type of child support, coming in for your child, be able to say, hey, I got child support coming in. We can use this to do this, that, and the third, and keep it moving. Wait, it's so funny. That is so cute. Chanel over here smiling. I wish I could turn about normal distractor for smiling. But yeah, so I'm sorry, y'all. We're just having a moment. But yeah, child support, all that. That's something that needs to be explained, because for men, that could be very disrespectful. You got your husband who's the head of your house taking care of you. How dare you letting another man send money in and not notify the person who's taking care of you fully, providing for the house fully. You know what I'm saying? That can make them feel incapable, that they're not able to take care of you. Mm-hmm. So that's why you have to make sure that when you get extra money like that in, that you notify your spouse. Now, if you feel indifferent for what I'm saying right now, then obviously you're a cheater. Excuse my French for being that way. It may sound a little harsh, because at the end of the day, when you marry a partner, y'all become one, so everything else become one. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like in any way that I can't tell them about this income, then that's not the person you need to be with, and you don't trust them. Period. Point blank. Ain't no explanation behind it. So
right. I mean, it really don't get much simpler than that.
No.
You shouldn't be hiding money.
Yep.
You really shouldn't be hiding anything in relationships, but you shouldn't be hiding money.
Exactly.
It's something so basic. It's just something you shouldn't hide, y'all.
Number 3 was...
Number 3... No, it's all good. It's all good. Number 3 is complaining about your partner to others.
Yeah.
I think this is something everyone in every marriage
has
done. Not to say it's right. I'm just saying everyone has done it.
Hey, sis.
It may have been done
Chrissy,
in innocence.
Hey, Isha. Hey, Shay. Sorry, y'all. I just want to speak.
No, it's all good. Yeah, you definitely recognize people as they come. But talking about your spouse to others, it may have been done in innocence. You may not have meant any harm by doing it. You may just thought you were venting to, quote unquote, a loving, caring friend. But complaining about your partner to others, no matter what you say, how big or how small it is, it opens the floodgates for the enemy to get into your marriage.
That's it.
Even if it's not that person who gets into your marriage. The information you give out about your partner or what they're lacking, it basically tells someone, if I can just offer them this, I can take that person.
Exactly.
And they may not be able to offer you everything you like about your partner, but they're only going to try to offer you what you don't like, because that's the stuff you talked about.
At the moment, which you're not getting at that moment from your partner.
And just to clarify what my wife was just saying, like you said, what you're getting or not getting from your partner is not just a physical thing. So it's not just sex that someone can offer you to make you cheat.
It can be emotional.
It's a emotional thing. It's a stability. It's a I'm not lonely thing, or my husband never wants to talk to me, and this guy right here, he always listens to me. So sometimes it's that emotional need.
Thank you for the hearts.
Thank y'all for the hearts. But sometimes it's that emotional need that makes people cheat. It's not always a physical, I just want to lay down with her because her butt big, or I want to lay down with him because he look good with his shirt off and he got a lot of money and all that other nonsense. Or he packing, or whatever the case may be. It ain't always physical that people cheat. Sometimes it's you rolled out the carpet for cheating without intentionally doing it, because you aired your dirty laundry about your partner. You're telling people, hey, you're basically, when you go and complain about your partner to people who aren't licensed to deal with that, like a pastor or even a therapist or someone, you're basically telling people, this is what I'm missing in my relationship. This is what they won't do. So in their mind, they're saying, well, if I do this, I can have you. Or if I tell someone what you're missing, I'm just going to tell the world that your marriage ain't perfect like you put off to be. Well, who the hell said marriage was perfect?
Nobody's marriage relationship is not perfect.
Thank you.
Since Shantia said, I'm married and y'all ain't speaking nothing but the truth. Yeah, girl, you got to give it to them straight, because at the end of the day, a lot of times we find ourselves in vulnerability, which opens you up to possibly cheat, So it's good to be able to share something, from our relationship to someone else's, to help or whatever.
Right. And it don't matter whether someone, has been married longer than us, they just got married. I feel any married couple has wisdom to share to another married couple, or people who are considering marriage. So definitely this video is for people who's on the way to marriage or whatever whatever the case may be. If you just have someone important in your life.
Wait, before you go to the next one, I want to say something. Far as your marriage, if you're married, this is for married people. I'm gonna give y'all some wisdom from our marriage that I've learned. We have the tendency sometimes to want to put our parents in our business. And what I mean by that is when you get on the phone and you vent about this, that, and the third. People got to realize when you get on the phone and you vent to a certain individual, whether it's your mom, dad, cousin, brother, sister, best friend, whoever it is, the minute you get on the phone and you vent to them and you decide that you want to forgive your spouse, well, guess who's still mad? The mama, daddy, brother, cousin, sister, best friend, whoever. So what I'm saying is when it comes to being frustrated with your spouse and irritated, I understand sometimes you want to talk to somebody and get an unbiased opinion, but when it's your family member, 9 times out of 10, unless they're really, can be in God and be straightforward with you, they're going to side with you. Hearing both sides of the story, they're still going to side with you. So what I'm saying is to keep people out of your business. Your relationship, your marriage is your business and your business only. Now, it'd be one thing if you and your spouse talking to that individual and then the business kind of go out there. But then it's a whole nother when you're on the phone with the person talking and then you decide, okay, I'm going to forgive my lover. And then that person on the phone like, well, dang, she weak. She sorry. She went back to him again. She this, she that. So at the end of the day, you got to remember that when you vent out there, although you may be over and you forgave your partner, that doesn't mean your family does. And that's what causes issues, drama, chaos, confusion. You can't go to the family barbecue because they don't like your man, or he can't take you to meet the dad because the mama don't like you because he done sat on the phone and vented to his mama about you. Especially the mama boys out there. You telling your mama all your business, then when you want to bring your girl around to meet whoever, you know what I'm saying? She got a bad taste in her mouth, so now she don't even want to, don't know it for herself, only know through the person that's running their mouth. So at the end of the day, keep your marital issues to you and your spouse if you can. If you got somebody you can talk to, so be it. But if you just really, really need to vent and talk about it, you and your spouse get together and talk to a fellow married couple, or talk to your pastor, or talk to a therapist. But talk together, because when you got that one person that's on the phone just running their mouth, and then you say, you know what, I love him or I love her, so we just gonna be together, your folks still mad. And now they gonna build a resentment towards your spouse, and they not even the one laying with them. So just keep that in mind. Babe, you can go to number 4.
No, I was saying people was...
Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Shantia said, I used to do that 1 in 8 ears to listen. I felt bad after because I didn't feel any better. Now this person know what I was going through at the time. Amen. Been there. Living witness. I know what you mean. You shouldn't have, every time, if you got to get on the phone all the time and vent about your problems, maybe it's not your spouse, maybe it's you. And I had to do a self-check with myself when it came to that. And sometimes I'd be so frustrated with him, and some of the things we would go through would be so minute, but because I was in my feelings and wanted my way and wanted to be Mrs. Right, I caused us to have a issue. And then if I want to go talk to whoever I want to talk about it, they got this resentment towards him and don't want to let it go. So I said, at the end of the day, if I want people, which I don't give a care who likes my husband, because I love him and I'm be with him, and I don't care what anybody got to say about it. But at the end of the day, if I want peace and, tranquility and for everybody to get along, I just got to stop running my mouth about my husband at the end of the day. That's what it boils down to. Kaychella said, keep your problems under your roof. Yes, girl. And Shantia said, marriage supposed to be sacred. Yes, and again.
Yep.
You be one, and it's about y'all too. And if y'all can't talk, you go together. Hear me, people. Together. And talk to somebody. But getting on the phone one-on-one, it ain't gonna work.
And no offense to single people, but if you are married people, don't go to single people for advice.
Amen. I wish I could clap, but I'm holding fat, mama.
And that's not to say single people don't have wisdom. That's not to say that single people can't show you the way and give an unbiased opinion. But I mean, it's like if there's a problem with your car, you go to a mechanic, right?
Yep.
So, because they know how to fix it.
Yep.
So, as a married person, if your marriage is broken, you go to someone who's licensed, who's know how to fix marriages, not someone who's never been there.
Come on.
So that's like going to the dentist, asking him, "Hey, can you fix my car?"
Or fix my broken arm.
Right.
We only specialize in teeth.
Right. He might know how to change your oil or something by luck, but other than that, he's not gonna help you fix your problem.
Yeah.
He's just gonna help you realize that you have a problem. Like we need help.
And you already knew you had. You went to him for in the first place, right?
Number 4 is undermining your partner in public. Let's see. Says, should people in relationships go to counseling? Yes.
Yes.
We did.
And don't do one session. Do not try to engage. That's when you start the counseling. Go ahead, babe. I'm breastfeeding her.
She said, most single people are miserable and want to feed off your problems because they don't have what you have.
That's right.
That's right. And from what I've noticed and from personal experience, most of the time, if you're venting to single people and it's not even a matter of them wanting what you have, or not, let's see, it's not a matter of them wanting you. They want what you bring to the table.
Yep.
You're sitting here telling them, well, love me, or he just don't pay me no attention. They don't necessarily want you. They want the happiness you give, or the happiness that you speak of that you can do. And they probably sitting there thinking, well, my man never did that for me. My woman never did that for me. And now all of a sudden, they don't want you. They want the happiness you can bring. But like you said, yeah, most single people are miserable. You'll catch a lot of them saying, oh, I'm happy to be single and I'm just teen independent and all that. And I'm not saying everybody just wants to be in a relationship, but most people do. They just have not found the right person, and that bitterness sat in so long that they think they better off on their own.
And they're attracting bitter because you attract what you are. So if you a certain way, you're gonna keep attracting it. That's a whole nother video.
Ken said, what if you're in a relationship and person put their family in our business? Well, I can kind of talk about that. It's part of the reason my first marriage started dissolving. Granted, me and my first wife, we had our issues. Neither one of us was perfect. I did my dirt. She did her dirt. Neither one of us was perfect. But what could have resolved everything between me and her at that time was keeping our family out of it. Well, more specifically, her family. A lot of, because I didn't marry her family. I don't remember putting a ring on her mom, her dad, her brother, her cousins, her aunties, uncles. It was only a ring I put on her. So when you marry someone, you leave your parents alone and you cling to your spouse.
That's what the Bible says.
If you still have an attachment, if you married someone and you still have that strong of an attachment to your parents, and you can love your parents, don't get me wrong, but if your attachment to them is that strong, you're telling them everything about your marital problems, then you should have married your parents.
Trying to tell you.
Once you get married, the love for your spouse, and a lot of people may not agree with it, should be higher than the love for your parents.
No, that's the truth. He's right.
And that's just the way it is.
That's Bible all day long.
Second, if you're married, second to God should be your spouse.
Yep.
Then your children.
Your mom and dad.
So on and so forth.
That's the order.
And so definitely, love your parents, but love them enough to say, hey, you got to stay out my business. I can't tell you what's going on in my marriage. Because in order for me to keep my marriage and to salvage my marriage, if it's in a broken place, I need to keep any outsiders out of it. And that includes my parents.
That's right.
Because your parents can break your relationship too. Because they can develop such a hatred for your spouse, they'll do anything to turn you against them. Mm-hmm. Been there, had it happen. And that just, in my first marriage wasn't even the first time it happened. That was just the biggest example.
Okay.
But yes, as far as undermining your partner, because we really didn't talk about it. As far as somebody undermining your partner in public, that's a matter of
you undermining your partner in public,
right.
Not somebody.
Well, yeah, as far as you undermining your partner in public, it's a matter of, let's just say me and her are out and I'm talking to someone, just having a general conversation, and
You
know what
don't
I'm saying?
even acknowledge my presence as if I'm not there. No proper
Right.
introduction or anything. That's undermining your partner.
Right. That's one way to undermine your partner. If you're, like you said, you're just having a good old conversation, and it don't matter whether it's male or female, and your partner's sitting there like, hey, you're not gonna
Introduce
introduce
me.
me, or and that's just kind of disrespectful. Not even necessarily undermining. That's just kind of disrespectful. But more so on the undermining side is I'm saying something and you come and just like basically check me in front of somebody,
That too.
or I could be saying something and I could be wrong. And let's say like I'm telling somebody a story about something in our relationship, and then my wife come in like, "Babe, stop being stupid. You know it didn't happen like that. It happened like this."
It's undermining.
And I'm like, "Well, you just checked me like for real." Just like what happens in a lot of relationships is, and it can happen unintentionally. People undermine each other in front of their children. That's where it happens the most.
Yes. That being disrespectful in front of your babies.
So thanks. I'm expected to be married, but that person family always got something to say. Thanks for y'all
You're
advice.
welcome.
Oh,
Go
you're
ahead,
welcome. I
Coach.
mean, I'm glad we could say something to help, but yeah, for the most part, a lot of relationships enter a lot of problems at home when one parent undermines the other. And children are the biggest manipulators of that because they can come like my child Star, she's the main one, or Shanala, for example. They'll come to me, they'll ask me for something. If I tell them no, they go straight to mommy and ask, and mommy would be like, "Well, yeah, go ahead and get it," and I'm like, maybe she didn't know I told him no, or maybe she did, and she may tell him yes anyway. And this is just an example. I'm not
I
saying
know.
that's undermining because it's like you made me look weak in front of my children.
Yeah.
You made me look like daddy's word doesn't matter because mommy gonna always check it,
Yeah.
and that happens a lot. And if it's happening in your home, if your children,
Start to emulate that and them
yeah,
playing toys. Like, for instance, I was telling Steven, and he even mentioned it to me because there was a time, I'm not going to link y'all, I would cuss somebody out in a minute. I'm talking about cuss. Calling myself being in God in church and everything, and just would cuss you out in a minute. And my husband was like, baby, you have to be careful what you say around the kids because you don't want the kids to go and repeat anything that you're saying. And one day I was sitting there and I had got I wasn't doing makeup, I was doing something. And it's amazing how your children absorb everything because my oldest baby was playing with Barbies, but she was pretending to be me and had the other Barbie pretending to be my second baby, Staria. And she was saying, basically repeating everything I'm saying, but thankfully enough, she did not cuss. It sounded like she tried to like clean up the word, but she did not cuss. So the point I'm making is you have to be careful what you say in front of your children, to your spouse, because what they'll do, they will get toys or get with a friend and they start pretending to do these things, and God forbid they be at somebody's house doing this. That's telling the people house that they staying at and playing at what goes on in your house without you even having to say a word. You could be giving out the perception that your marriage is good and everything is okay, but the minute your child goes to somebody else's house and start playing Barbies and all this stuff, that's when the child shows, oh crap, my mommy holding the Barbie one. My mommy, this is me, and then my daughter using the other Barbie would be her baby sister. I mean, her second oldest sister. Sorry, because now I got Shania. So you just got to be careful with that and undermining your partner, because you could be doing it in the most minute ways, like the title says, 7 ways you cheat without even realizing it. You could be cheating and not even realizing it. And before you know it, you're in a situation where it's hard to get out of. So you got to be careful in your behavior. And remember, you have to think too. It's not what you say, it's what you do. You can say all day and night, oh, I love my spouse, I do this, I do that, or my significant other. But then are you showing it in your actions? So you got to remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do. So it's all in your actions. So keep that in mind as well. Number 5 says emotionally.
She was writing something.
I'm going to share this video with my husband. He really needs to hear this message. And God bless you all to such a beautiful, inspirational couple. We need more people like y'all. Girl, we aren't perfect, honey. We've been through the trenches, the fire, almost got a divorce. There was infidelity that took place in our marriage, and we'll expound that on it later. We just building a foundation. But the point of the matter is, We do this to help others. God put on our heart to do this so we can help in any way without telling our business, but just using it in a resourceful way to help others, then we'll do that. So thank you for supporting and watching, babe, and I hope it helps. Okay, number 5 says emotionally dishonest. You could talk on that first and then
emotionally dishonest. That can range from that covers so many avenues of a relationship. It can range from
a guy coming in your inbox, lady, saying, "Oh, you okay? I noticed you posted a post about your spouse or your significant other, saying, oh, he gets on my nerves,' or oh, such and such, he is sorry, baby daddy,' or oh, he this and that and that." That's an invitation for you to cheat. It is an invitation, period. Because why would you go put on a public platform? Y'all have to look at, and I'm not trying to take it to church or anything, but Facebook, your Facebook is your pulpit. So whatever you spew out, that's your representation of who you are. So you have to be mindful of what you say, because if you on there posting about your baby daddy slandering him, then you're going to get out the perception this old bitter woman, and I could get in her, and she vulnerable, so I'm going to get in her inbox and act like I care about her just to get some, and then he going to dish you on to the next. And it could become a repeated pattern. I can't even talk, Jesus. A repetitive pattern. There you go. It could become a repetitive pattern, so you have to be careful with that. Your Facebook is your pulpit, being real. So whatever you say on it, whatever you do, you pretty much telling people who you are without even talking about, hey, my name is Kwanzaa, I'm 30 years old, I'm a wife with 3 kids. Whatever I put on my Facebook shows y'all who I am. So emotional dishonesty, like my baby said, it so many different avenues. There's so many different ways you can touch on it. But the number one thing is what you put on your Facebook. Dudes be watching, they be waiting to come bite. All they need is some bait. And all it takes is a simple, my husband get on my nerves. He telling me this, and that, and I'm telling him don't do this. Sometimes I hate that I'm married. Sometimes I'm this, sometimes I'm that. And before you know it, he come in your inbox, the dude. You all right over there? Is there anything I can do for you? Then he'll try to perceive like he understand you, like he in your relationship, when he don't know nothing about your relationship, just from one post. Agreeing with you. Before you know it, can I take you to get drinks? Can I take you to lunch? Can I show you a good time? So you have to be mindful of what you put on your Facebook. I just wanted to say that because that's a touchy subject for me. You have to be mindful of what you put on your post, for real. Like, be mindful. Don't slander. Y'all wouldn't even know me and Steven was close to divorce last year. Understand? Because what I put on my Facebook, it always be makeup, something inspirational, something about sickle cell, or something about my family. Anything you see about my husband is nothing but praising and giving my husband the acknowledgement that he needs, that is due to him, credit that is due to him. Y'all would never know when we're fighting. And that's how everybody Facebook should be. I know everybody ain't me, but Facebook is not real. It's a fake reality. People put on fronts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of what you put. Y'all never knew what me and Steven went through last year. And we'll talk about it further down. But y'all never knew because I love my husband. He's my king. How dare I go on there and put our business up there? That opens an invitation for a man to come in my inbox. And don't get me wrong, I got men in my inbox now. And my marriage is good. We happy and all that. But I got men in my inbox now. What I do, shut it down. And now with the filter, Facebook filter thing, you can choose to accept or ignore a message. And I don't even click it. Because why? I'm happy where I'm at. So what you got to realize is Facebook is a bait. Hey, sis. It's a fishing bait thing, baby. And if you're not careful, you can end up cheating quick. But go ahead and talk about like another avenue of emotionally cheating.
Morgan just jumped on. Hey, Morgan.
Hey, y'all.
Yeah, as far as emotional dishonesty or whatever, it can range from me asking you, babe, you okay? And she like, yeah, I'm okay, knowing deep down she hot and pissed off.
Mm-hmm. I'm fine. That's my favorite word.
Right. You might think it's innocent, but you really just lied to your partner.
Yep, for real.
It can range from that to hell. in the bedroom if you faking an orgasm.
Whoop.
So, ladies out there, if you're doing that to your partner, men too, because I faked it before myself, not with my wife, of course, but just in past where I was laying down with somebody who didn't mean much or nothing to me other than a quick lay. That emotional dishonesty is all of that. Anytime you going through something and your partner asks you, babe, what's wrong? And you say nothing, you just lied to your
You
partner.
just lied.
You just said, I don't want to communicate with you.
Yep.
No matter what you're going through, you need to be able to talk to your partner about it, because it's when you don't talk about it, is when someone else, like she said, slide in your inbox that wants to talk about it. And because you want to hear some neutral opinion, you done now open the floodgate for somebody to send you that, hey, how you doing text.
Yeah.
Or that, hey, stranger, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Or that, I was just
that
checking
one
on
a
you.
good one, babe. Hey, stranger, it's been a while. How you been?
Or that, hey, I'm just checking on you.
Yeah.
All that stuff. And you may not even fall for it. It opens the floodgates. It says, it's putting out the message that, hey, I'm vulnerable. Or I don't want to talk to my spouse, so who wants to talk to me? It's almost as thirsty as people making those "who's up with me right now" posts.
Those, oh my God, those kill me.
Or who wants to inbox me, or who wants my number posts.
Yeah, thirst.
All that stuff is a cry for attention, but I'm not even gonna get on that.
That's
right
a
now.
whole nother video.
But yeah, as far as being emotionally dishonest,
it's something so small that can get big.
Yep.
So you just have to be careful.
It's almost the main breeding ground for cheating.
Good one, Morgan. Oh, so we ain't cool no more.
That too.
Yep.
It's almost the breeding ground for cheating when you lock your partner out of your feelings, out of your emotions. You're basically telling them, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to deal with you. But you'll go talk to somebody else you don't even know.
Right. Or somebody who really shouldn't be in your business.
Mm-hmm.
And then you open the floodgates without knowing. Even if you had no intention of coming after that person, you made them come after you because you presented yourself in a vulnerable state. Whether they coming after you because they really want to be with you, or they coming after you because they figure, hey, I can have sex with you right now because you're in such a vulnerable state. You're looking for love from anywhere. And you won't talk to your man, so I know you'll talk to me. Your wife won't listen, but I will. That's exactly what happened.
He's saying it, y'all. He is telling the truth.
But
number 6, selfish.
Now, being selfish, once again, like emotional dishonesty, being selfish can cover so many avenues, man. Like, it can come from, it's not just saying, okay, this is my money and that's your money, or I got $3 and I know you need $3, but I'm going to keep my $3 because I worked hard for this and blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Morgan said that's why it's important to be
available to listen and honest when someone is listening. Good, sis. Very good. Right. And Anna said, never leave yourself vulnerable. That's right. Or it's okay to be vulnerable, but just be careful when you choose to be vulnerable and who's around you that can catch on to that and take advantage of it.
If you're going to be vulnerable, do it to your spouse, your pastor, your therapist, or God.
Yeah.
Mostly to God.
But just going off and just feeling like you can just tell the whole world your business, that's a no-no, honey. Yeah, back on being selfish.
But yeah, as far as being selfish, y'all, selfish can come from, like I said, it kind of ties in with number 2, which was hiding money. It can come from hiding money from your partner.
Yeah.
It can come from still thinking that you're in a we thing, thinking about yourself. Always thinking about your needs, how you feel, how things make you feel, things you want to do. That whole my way or the highway mentality. Yeah. If you still think like that and you're married, you need to go get a divorce ASAP.
Yeah, you don't shut away my question.
You should not be in a relationship, period. Even a friendship, being selfish, thinking everything revolves around how you like things to go. Because you're going to end up in a situation where your friend, your spouse, your partner, your cousin, your sister, brother are going to want to do things that you're not interested in. But if you don't want to hear that, then that makes you selfish.
If you're married, can you say you are truly happy? I've been there, done that. On happiness, I'm going to say this, and when I tell y'all, it stuck to my soul. It stuck to my soul. A lot of times people get in marriage and relationships to fill a void. When you get in a serious relationship, because I've been there. I actually done that with my husband. I was a bag lady. And I'll talk about that another time. But you get in a relationship expecting somebody to fix something that they can't fix, that only God can fix. Happiness first starts with you and you choosing to live a happy, successful life. It is unfair for any of us to get in a relationship and tell somebody basically if they don't make you happy, you're going to leave them. You have to first love yourself and be happy within yourself and know your worth. When your significant other comes along, they add on to that happiness. It's not their obligation to make you completely happy. And I had to learn that the hard way. Because it was like, oh, if this don't go my way, back to going to selfish. Oh, if he don't do what I say, I'm just bored with the relationship. I don't want it no more. Or, oh, if I don't get what I want, I figure out a way to get what if I want. If I got to sneak and get it. That's wrong. All that around is wrong, and it's a root to something that needs to be dealt with. But happiness is a choice that you have to make. Every day you got to get up and choose. I want a better life. I want to do something great in life. I want to make a difference. I want to leave my imprint on this earth. So you have to be fully happy before you choose to get in a relationship and get a man or a woman to try to fill a void that they can never fill. Because deep down, that's hurt and pain. And you ain't doing nothing but like what people do with drugs, what it does, it masks the pain. When you take any kind of pain medicine that makes you drowsy or sleepy, it's not actually going to the source that's making you hurt. It's going to the nerves that's causing the pain and masking it. So at the end of the day, you have to not mask what you're feeling deep down and go in a relationship thinking a man or woman make you happy. You have to be happy first. And then once you be happy and you know your worth, then you can go get in a relationship or a marriage and your spouse add on to that happiness. But expecting somebody to make you happy, you will never be happy. You will forever be miserable. It is nothing that they can do to ever make things right. It is nothing they can buy you to ever make things right. It is nothing they can do for you to make everything right. It's something within that has to be fixed. And then once it's fixed, you good to go. You can get with somebody and y'all build happiness. And who said that? Because I love that you said that. Crystal, thank you for saying that because that wouldn't have been brought up. Thank you so much for saying that. But people have to realize you get in a relationship or you getting with somebody is not going to make you happy. You got to first be happy and love yourself and know your worth. How you going to expect somebody to know your worth if you don't even know your own worth?
Guilty. But
So yeah, I just wanted to say that, and it wasn't to Crystal, y'all. I just thank her for saying it. That had nothing to do with her. I just want to thank her for saying that because people don't realize they get in relationships. I just want to be happy. I want to be happy. You'll never be happy if you're hurting. When you're in a relationship already, you're not even giving the person you're getting with. Like with my husband, when I got with him, he didn't have a fair chance to win my love right off bat. He had to work for it, and that's unfair to him because I was dealing with so much bad. Get in right the right way. He had to work his way in, and that's not fair for your significant other to have to do that because I wasn't happy. And I'm thinking, well, if I find a good guy, maybe we could just be happy. No, I had to recheck myself, get with me, and at this time I was in church, y'all, heavy. I had to get within me, and you know what I'm saying, get myself together before I could expect Steven to love me unconditionally. And now since we've been married 3 years together, 4 years, now I know what happiness is. It's a choice. It's not something that's given. It's a choice, y'all. Seriously. So know your worth and get yourself together first. And then real happiness will come when you are whole. But you'll never be happy if you go into a relationship or a marriage saying, well, I just need to be happy. I can't be with a man or woman unless I'm happy. No.
And y'all share this video just to
share the video.
While y'all share this video so other people can see it.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to share it.
And just a quick reminder, we are on our YouTube page live as well. But
and Morgan, that's right. The other person may have their own stuff to deal with. So how dare you come into a relationship expecting them to fix you, and they got their own issues. You know, two imperfect people come together and make what? The perfect couple. And choosing to become the perfect couple, that's work. You got to work at that. It ain't something that... I'm trying to make sure I ain't flashing over there. But it doesn't come overnight. Here, mommy. Here.
But yeah, y'all. And Chris was saying, if your ex verbally abused you, how do you come from that? Um,
I would tell what I would do every day, Crystal. If it was me in it, because I've been in a verbal and emotional relationship, like there was a point that I hated being dark skinned because I had one of my exes always say I was tar. I was I look like charcoal. No man would never want me. I was ugly. I was this. I was that. I mean, would talk to me like that. So what I would do every day I would get up in the mirror and I would talk to myself. And I know it may sound crazy to somebody on here, but this is what I would just do to help myself. I would get in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I do love myself. I do love my chocolate skin. I do love my little nose. I do love my big lips. I love my pigeon-toed legs, my little skinny feet, my little skinny ankles that can break in heels. You know, I had to embrace my flaws. When I got in the mirror and I started to embrace how God made me, that's when I was able to release myself from that relationship. Because if you getting up every day expecting the same issues over and over, then you're never going to get a different result. You have to get up and decide, okay, what am I going to do different today to release me from this relationship? I was in that relationship for 2 years, that domestic violent relationship. And every day he would make it his business. He even went as far one time, y'all, and spat on me and said that's all I was worth. Like spat in my face. And said that was all that I was worth. And that nobody would never love me. I'll never get married. I end up dying of sickle cell. Nobody would never remember me. I mean, hurtful stuff. And it took me to just get up one day and say, you know, with sickle cell, I am making a difference. Because I'm not like, you know, sitting on my tail and not trying to do something with my life when I'm feeling good and this and that. I had to say positive things to myself in the mirror. Look at me. Look at everything about me. And sometimes I'll even take the journal pieces that I'll put that wasn't sacred to me. I would put them on my mirror in the bathroom, even though he would try to rip them down when he'd get home from work or whatever. I would post that stuff. And every time I go in the bathroom, use the bathroom, do something in the bathroom, it was a reminder to remind me, hey, you are worthy. You're beautiful. So that's some of the things that I did to get in. And it's a mind thing. You have to tell yourself. You have to convince yourself. You have to constantly remind yourself, because if you don't, then you'll continue to deal with the same situation. So it's having a more positive outlook, because we are what we put into us or what we accept. So if you keep accepting it, of course you're not going to walk away from it. But just surrounding yourself with supportive and positive people that'll tell you you're beautiful, you're loving, you're caring. Not only that, the things my grandma, my Aunt Felicia, my mom, everybody used to say to me when I was younger, I would have that in my head too. To tell myself, what am I? I know the accomplishments I've had in my life. So I recited those things in my head as well as wrote new things. And then here I am today, married to an awesome man who's never demeaned me anyway. So it's just all about trying to find a positive mindset in the darkness. Trying to make the light. Sometimes you got to make the light. Sometimes the light won't peek through the window or the ceiling. Sometimes you have to make a light. Sometimes you have to take a match, scratch the granite on the ground or the wall to create your light with a match. Sometimes you got to do that. You know, when there's no hope, that's all you have left. Sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes it's just not going to peek through. Sometimes you got to work at it, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. So, Morgan said I wrote on a mirror positive stuff I liked about myself. And every morning I would look in it and read it to myself. Same thing I did, sis. Felt like I was anything but a child of God. Crystal says you're right. I still hold on to that. Just a little after our divorce hasn't been over a year yet. You're healing, baby. It's a part of the drill. You're gonna have flashbacks and stuff, but every time the flashbacks try to come back, you have to put something up positive. Put some gospel inspiration music on. When you start having that feeling come over you about them things he used to say and do to you, set your atmosphere in your house, honey. Whatever the words are in the song, like that's speaking to you in your spirit, recite them. It's a process. You're not going to heal overnight, but as you heal, you'll feel better. As you be more positive, you'll feel better. As you look at yourself in a different way, you'll feel better. So you have to try to move past the relationship, because I've never been through a divorce. Only my husband has, so he can speak on that. But with me, just a bad relationship, I would do positive things to turn my situation around so that I can attract what I'm supposed to attract. Because you attract what's on the inside of you and what hurts you. So you have to remember that you're processing, and your processing will soon turn you into a diamond. So right now you're just going through the rough phases of becoming a diamond. But it's coming. It's coming. And the right guy will come. You will attract the right guy. He's coming.
Besides, Crystal, I see you post pictures all the time with your Snapchat filters and everything. This one you do. So
Snapchat.
You must be feeling yourself all the pictures you post. So,
Snapchat.
Besides, whenever you feel like you feel unattractive or no one cares about you, all you got to do is, you got 2 boys. Look to your boys. You see how much they adore you and how much they probably be a wreck without you. Those 2 right there are the proof that you're important to someone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not to the person you thought you should be important to, but them 2 kids.
But you affect somebody
love
out
you.
there. That's right.
They don't care if half your face was missing. All they know is I love mommy, and mommy take care of me. So
she laughing at me because I was Snapchat.
But we got a little off subject, y'all. We was talking about selfishness, and we went into that. But hey, like they say, let the spirit lead you and all that. But yeah, y'all. Just as far as selfishness, man, selfishness can come from even selfishness can come from withholding love, attention, sex, money, communication. Right. All of that is selfishness in a relationship, especially in a marriage.
Yeah.
When you're one.
Yeah.
In everything, not just in the flesh. For the guys who just, thinking, hey, I'm just gonna quote this scripture every time I want some. I know I've quoted it a few times, but so it's not just for that sense or saying that a wife gives herself to her husband. No, it's not just on a sexual level. It's on an emotional level, physical level, all of that good stuff. So when you're holding back anything in your relationship, and I know it's not always easy to share, especially when you're used to being by yourself. Now you're joined to this other person. It ain't always easy to share. But you have to remember, this relationship is no longer about you. It ain't about you and your feelings or your needs or how you want it when you want it.
That's right.
Because there's another person, and you have to take their feelings into consideration. You have to take in consideration what they want, what they need. And I may not be a lot of things in my relationship, but selfish, I'm not. There are things I ask for, because we all ask for certain things in our relationship, but selfish is the one thing I'm not. And I could be a lot more of a lot other things, but selfish.
He's not. He'll give me his last dollar, y'all, or his last piece of meat off his steak, y'all. Like, my husband is very selfless. He'll do anything for anybody. He'll put himself to the back burner just to make sure I'm smiling or his kids smiling, so that he's not. Yes, he won a PlayStation. Me and Morgan was talking about it. I don't have to take later what we said.
That is the gospel.
All right,
Morgan.
babe.
Jesus. Praise Morgan. Please bless her and her household for...
Stop!
Jesus. Recognize it.
Monique said, after 10 years of unhappiness, I took 2 years to learn and love me. Come on here, girl. And I waited for God to send me who he had for me now. I'm blessed with an awesome husband, lover, and friend, so I'm a witness. He will do it. Girl, you teach and preach to them, give them some wisdom. See, a lot of women, and I'm not gonna lie, because I used to be one of them, hated to be alone, thought it was just the worst thing in the world to be in a relationship. But in them times you have breakups, that's the time to learn from the wrong that you did in that relationship. At the same time, replenish, and I would say look at yourself like you're a plant, you're a seed. So you take all the seeds from that relationship, put it in a pot, water them, meaning get in your word, spend time with yourself, date yourself. It ain't nothing wrong with going to Longhorn Steakhouse by yourself, having you a drink, eating a steak, or going to Panera Bread, reading a book. Spend time with yourself, learn and love yourself. Because when you get with a spouse, you don't have that kind of time. You have to make that time on top of still make quality time for your spouse, on top of being a mom. So I love that you said that, Monique, because it is so important to get to know yourself and love yourself. Because at the end of the day, can't nobody love you like you love you aside from God. So it's important that you learn and you heal so that you won't take them same bags from your previous relationship into your next. But if you constantly hopping into other relationships, you ain't doing nothing but just picking up all your garbage, taking it to the next. And you're going to keep attracting the same kind of guy just in a different body, which goes down to this attracting that same type of spirit. It's just in the same body. So in order to get rid of that spirit, you have to cleanse yourself, purify yourself, water yourself. You know, like Monique said, spend time with yourself, get to know yourself. You know, go to church, do something inspirational, go volunteer and help somebody. You'll learn so much when you take time out from thinking about you and go help somebody. You'll get a lesson out of that. You know, going to a homeless shelter to help a woman that might have been battered or beaten, or saying, hey, I'm going to pay somebody to build this money if God bless you with the money. You never know what you can learn out of that. So in this time of being alone, take the time to get to know yourself, get to know God. And while you're in hiding, your king will have to go to God to find you. That's when women mess up. We so busy trying to throw ourselves out there and get attention and be seen. But if you're somebody's husband, been made for somebody, you need to be in hiding, meaning no other man can recognize you. You'll see anything about you because you're in God. Your king is going to recognize you. So remember, ladies, you're supposed to be hiding. You ain't supposed to be out there exposing yourself, being known, being an attention seeker on Facebook, putting out there in the world what you want, what you need. You need to be in hiding so that your man can find you. That's a whole nother video. So Crystal says both of my sons have autism. Wow, I take my hats off to you because I know it's work taking care of them. But by the grace of God, he will keep you, girl. And I'll be praying for you because I know it's not easy taking care of kids that have autism. And then there's different spectrums of autism, so I know it's not an easy task, but I'll be praying for you, and I take my hat off to you, honey, because being a single mom itself is hard, but dealing with a child that has an issue, I know it's a whole nother level. So I'm here if you ever need to talk, and I'll be praying for you, and thank you for chiming in and supporting us. We appreciate it, boo.
Yeah, she'll be all right.
Hey, Bradis, Miss Pettis, my boo. But the next one is, and the last one is stonewalling. I couldn't tell the way you wrote it.
But yeah, stonewalling is basically completely shutting your partner out.
Yep.
And like I said, once again,
refusing to talk.
Yep. Going in the
I'll
other
say this
room.
is I have that. I don't want to call it an issue, but because I'm so hot-headed and hot-tempered or quick-tempered, my husband like, baby. He'll get in the car like I'll be picking up from work. He'll be like, babe, it's been one of them days, especially when the children kind of just drive me through the roof. And he be trying to talk and I'm like, no, I don't want to talk right now. Now, if you're doing it to decompress and eventually by the end of the day you're going to talk, that's one thing. But if you're saying nothing is wrong and you go about your day, but at the end of the day, when you start to feel better, who did you talk to? Did you talk to God or did you get on the phone with somebody? You know what I'm saying? Because it's unfair to be able to get on the phone and tell them completely what's going on, but then when it comes to your spouse, you can't even tell them. That's wrong. You can't block out your feelings. You and your spouse supposed to be one, so they should be able to feel, and he always able to sense what's something wrong with me. They should be able to feel when something's wrong and do what they can to help solve that problem. But if you feel like they can't solve your problem, then why the hell are you married to them? You're wasting your time marrying somebody that you feel like no matter what I talk to them about, they just don't understand. Then y'all not meshed and y'all not meant to be together. If you constantly feel like every time you talk to your spouse and there's a block there and y'all are not getting any better, doing any better.
What? Yeah, I put you on blast. That's what Crystal said to myself. You put me on blast.
Oh. But yeah, you have to be careful with that. Like, don't be so guarded with the person that's supposed to be your best friend, your counselor, because he my nurse, my counselor, my everything, you know, aside from God, that's the next person I talk to. And don't get me wrong, I got a lot of friends that are like sisters to me, but my husband's going to be the one that's going to be honest and real with me and love me, not be one-sided. So how dare I be stonewalling with him, but then I'll go talk to somebody else about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. Why am I married to him if I'm going to constantly go outdoors and talk instead of talking to him in here?
Yep, stonewalling is, it basically is, in a nutshell, it's basically when
being real guarded.
You're in a relationship with somebody and both y'all too stubborn to talk over the problem.
Yeah, just being guarded.
You go in one room, she in the other, and y'all just spend the whole day disconnected from each other. That's when you're letting the enemy in. Because all it takes is that one text, that one phone call, that one X to show up on your friend request list, and it's a wrap.
Yep.
even if it's not that person you ventured off to, it opens the floodgates to say, I don't want to talk to him, but
Yep.
let me find somebody I can talk to.
Or I'm going to just talk to this guy in my inbox because he understand me anyway. When deep down, that's an attention-seeking route. You just want attention from somebody new.
Or he not making me feel loved. Let me go find someone to make me feel loved.
Yeah.
It happens. Like, if your partner is crying out to you for something, please listen.
Yeah.
Because the moment you don't,
somebody else is listening.
Somebody else is listening. And you may not have intentionally told them, I need this, or my relationship is in jeopardy. Sometimes people can smell that on you. They can smell when your relationship is in trouble.
Yeah.
And it's not, like I said, it's not that they want you. They want that feeling you bring to the table.
That's right.
They see your worth, or not even necessarily see your worth. They see how valuable you would be to them if they had you.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they want you just to spite the person you're with. Because they don't like the person you're with. Not because they even want you.
Yeah.
They want to spite who you with to say, I took your person.
Yep.
First of all, even to correct that, and I know we're getting a little off subject as far as stonewalling, but when you
if somebody could just be God, y'all was never together.
You can't take someone. And we won't even say y'all were never meant to be, but at that time, y'all didn't belong to each other.
Yeah.
Because y'all was so emotionally detached, physically detached. And yes, ladies, because ladies probably are the most, and that's no offense to the ladies out there, but ladies are probably the most guilty of this, withholding sex from your husband as some form of punishment.
That's wrong. You're not supposed to do that.
That's stonewalling him.
That's stonewalling.
And not to say it condones...
a form of cheating, stonewalling is.
And not to say it condones a man to cheat. Nothing condones cheating. Sometimes we can understand why you did what you did, but nothing condones cheating.
Nothing justifies it at all.
Sometimes, ladies, if you're withholding sex from your man just to say, well, this, and this, and... Okay, and then he go out and find it somewhere... Is he wrong? Hell yeah, he wrong. It ain't nothing right about that, but you need to look at, well, damn, if I was holding it down at home, he wouldn't have found it nowhere else.
That's right.
If I wasn't nagging him about every little thing, because when I think about it, what I nagged him about wasn't that serious. Fellas, if you coming home from work, and I get it, you might have worked 12, 13 hours trying to provide for your home. I know, I pull them long hours just like y'all. But if you come home, your wife wants your attention, she want to tell you... She want to tell you about her day. She want to talk about her feelings. Whatever she want to do, you need to listen to her. Because if you don't, here comes Jody in her inbox. I'll listen. What's going on with you? Yeah. Tell me all about your day. And he'll listen for hours.
Well, I'm horny and he won't do me. What? As fine as you is, he won't do you? What? And before you know it, that man in your room, in your bed.
And women, something else I want to mention as far as that. If you're in a relationship, if you're married, stop making those "who up with me" posts. Yeah. That is a thing that bothers me.
A call for
you shouldn't be on
attention. A call for a dude to come in your inbox. And you might say, "No, that ain't my attention. I just want somebody to talk to. Talk to God."
Talk to.
Because they say, ain't nothing after midnight or after 3 a.m. Ain't nothing open but legs and liquor stores and stuff. So you need to be mindful of what you be posting that late at night.
You should not be on Facebook with your booty on nobody's sink, taking a picture. You shouldn't be,
just taking a picture of your booty, turning around, and just taking a picture of your booty. Got your breasts all puckered up and smiling cheese. No.
Stop doing all that, because what you're doing that's free advertisement.
Yep.
A man gonna be like, well, any, I guess, low down man to just be like, what the hell I look like putting a ring on her finger? I'm getting it all for free. Yeah. Why I gotta commit to that?
Yeah.
That's like
Especially
this.
If the whole world get to see it and y'all on Facebook together, like seeing y'all in a relationship. Hey, nah.
That's like this, for example. Like, let's just say my wife is a mansion. She's a beautiful home and all that. If somebody told me, I can get that mansion for free without a contract versus, I got to pay $3,000 a month for 30 years, what you think I'm going to do? I'm going to get it for free.
Yeah.
Because you giving it to me for free? Why the hell I'm going to pay for it for the next 30 years or so?
Yeah.
So make yourself, keep the value within yourself, y'all.
That's right.
And that may be a little off subject, but that was just something I needed to get out because A lot of people need to hear that. But anyway, y'all, what we came on about, it was about the 7 ways of people cheat without they knowing. The first way was having secret relationships. Yeah. And we just doing a brief summary for y'all who didn't catch everything at the beginning. One of the first ways was, like I said, secret relationships. That's having friendships that your partner doesn't know about. Yeah. It could be an innocent, completely innocent friendship, but your partner needs to know your friend.
Let me say this before we go to the next one, baby. Ladies, men out there, if you got a BFF, bestie, best friend, and you can hang with this person, talk to this person, but you can't properly introduce them to your spouse, and your spouse not know about them, that's not a friend. And if that person's okay with being in that position, they want you. Because why would I be okay with meeting your significant other, knowing at the end of the day that's who you choose to be with? I'm just a friend, right? But if you got a best friend or a bestie of the opposite sex and y'all can talk about stuff, go to lunch, have little sleepovers, whatever, however you do it, or you be lying to your significant other about the person of the opposite sex and you can't properly introduce them, that's not your friend. And like I said, the person that's in that position want to be with you or want to sleep with you. And basically, there is a placeholder. Because why would I be okay with being your friend? If I got in a relationship with you, what that means, I'll go do the same thing. So it's a repetitive cycle. So be careful of that. It ain't nothing wrong with having friends for opposite sex. Of the opposite sex, I'm sorry. It's nothing wrong with that. But any guy, trust and believe, my husband's going to know about that guy. I would never just sit here and say, you know what? You my friend. And we going to go to lunch. And I'm just going to tell Steven we having a business meeting. My husband can't be in on the business meeting. Heck, we building an empire together. We building a legacy. Why my husband can't come to the business meeting? Because it ain't a business meeting. It's another chance for that potential placeholder to spend time with you. Because that potential placeholder should say, you know what? I ain't met your spouse yet. Or I ain't met your significant other. Can we all go out for drinks so I can, get to know them, being that I'm your bestie or your BFF? So, ladies, gentlemen, keep that in mind. And that's all on it.
All right, y'all. Number 2 was hiding money. Like I said, once again, like we said before, there's no such thing as your money, my money.
When you're married, keyword, married, y'all.
So, if y'all make money, no matter who bring it in or who bring in more, y'all money is y'all money. There's no yours and mine. That died when y'all said I do.
Yeah.
Number 3 was complaining about your partner to others. Only thing you should be doing to others about your partner is complimenting your partner.
That's it.
Praising them. Being, women, being that Proverbs 31 woman that, your husband can brag about, and that your actions say, I would never do wrong against my spouse.
Yeah.
Men being that stand-up guy that your woman can always say, oh, he do this, and this for me. And she got so many lists of things you do for her versus things you don't do.
That's right.
Because the moment, and she can go tell a friend guy or a friend girl, because you never know, that friend girl might want you too.
Yeah.
In today's society, and there's nothing against that. But that's just saying that you think you've been to your friend girl or that friend guy makes a big difference. It really don't these days. But anyway, y'all, number 4 was undermining your partner in public. Undermining your partner, once again, like I said, is basically, as people say today, checking your partner in front of somebody else. Telling your partner in front of other people how stupid they are, or you think they look ugly in that dress, or you need to brush your hair, or your breath stink in front of other people, like to literally just to check them. That's a no-no. Because people going to look at you stupid more so than they're going to look at your partner for whatever you trying to point out about them. Number 5 was being emotionally dishonest.
That's right.
Emotionally dishonest, once again, y'all, it's just a matter of you not telling your partner how you really feel.
Yeah.
My wife can have on a dress and say, ooh, baby, do this dress make me look fat? And I'm thinking, yeah, you look bloated as hell. But I don't tell her, I say, no, baby, you look fine. Good. That's lying. Or I ask you, do you love me? Like what people do when they start getting into relationships. Start saying, oh, I love you. And the person like, oh, I love you too. Knowing they really don't give two damns about you. That's being emotionally dishonest. Yeah. And the list goes on. Number 6, y'all, was being selfish. Once again, like I said earlier, selfishness
Withholding
died
sex.
when you
All
said
right.
when you said I do, withholding sex, withholding your feelings, withholding your time.
Yeah.
All of that is a form of selfishness, y'all. If you remember, when you being selfish about something, it'll come back to bite you. Like they say, that whole what you won't do, someone else will.
Yeah.
If you won't be nice to me, someone else will.
Yeah.
If you won't love me, someone else will.
Yeah.
You know, and I always say this after I say that to people. You should always be giving your best in a relationship because you never wanted to. Don't forget you're replaceable.
Yeah.
That person may love you and they may think the world of you, but we're all replaceable. And I'm not saying that so you can watch over your shoulder. I'm only saying that so that you know that you have to give your best all the time, or there is someone waiting to do it. And they may not ever do it like you did it. But if you're the person they chose for a reason, if you don't come correct, someone is going to pull off the impression that they can do better.
That's right.
And they probably can't. It's just going to look that way because you refuse to do it. So now they, like she said, that placeholder jumped in. And now you've become a placeholder in your own relationship.
Yeah.
And number 7 is stonewalling. That's complete shutdown to your partner. Like I said, shutdown
Like
of
you done
sex.
checked out the relationship so
Yep.
you're physically there but not spiritually, mentally, and emotionally there.
Yep.
It's basically what that is.
You know, you cannot shut down in your relationship. You cannot say, I don't want to talk to you. Going to sleep mad at night. That's stonewalling.
That's dangerous. Shouldn't do that.
I think other than not communicating, going to sleep mad at each other is almost the most red carpeting thing you can do for the enemy to get in your relationship.
Yeah.
Other than talking bad about, your partner to someone else. You pretty much roll out the red carpet going to sleep mad.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, y'all need to talk it out before y'all go to sleep.
That's
Or
right.
y'all need to not go to sleep. Because you being pissed off at your partner can lead to you dreaming or fantasizing about another man or another woman. Even if you never wanted to sleep with them, the thought of just being with someone else outside of your partner
That's cheating.
That's cheating.
And key word, notice Stephen said talk, not yell, not cuss each other out, not yell and throw stuff, not calling each other names, but talk like two grown adults. Two people yelling back and forth, can't nobody hear. Can't listen. And also, when you're in a confrontational situation with your significant other or spouse, there's a difference between hearing and listening. Listening means you're processing what is being said. You can spool that back out in your response. But hearing is, I'm going to pick what I want to hear up out of this, and then I'm going to get my point across as in your opinion or the way you feel is invalid. Never get into a marriage or a situation or a serious situation or relationship if you'd rather hear somebody than listen. Because listening, like I said, you process it and you can spool back out what they said and give what you're feeling. But when you're hearing, you're just going to pick whatever. You're going to have selective amnesia in hearing, and you're going to say what you feel like their feelings are not valid. So remember, you have to listen when you're in a relationship. Hey, Ashley. And she said, this is rich. Girl, just trying to help, girl. Just trying to help. But yeah, that's the key thing, because a lot of people be like, yeah, I hear you, like gotta be one person be in the other room and the other one be in the bedroom. Yeah, I can hear you, but still, I feel like this, I feel like that. You don't matter, blah 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 blah. But listening is when you both can sit in the same room and say, baby, well, I feel this, and that, and somebody else say, well, baby, I'm this, and that. That's listening, and then you can go to bed in peace, holding each other. And what I love about my husband, he had to teach me this. Because when I was in previous relationships, I'm talking about I would cuss you out right in front of my oldest baby. I didn't care who was there, whatever. But my husband said, baby, when we get into it, we are not to talk about it. And when I tell you, we've been through the trenches, and we'll talk about that later, but even in our deepest, darkest situations, my husband always say, babe, wait until the kids are put to bed. We are not going to discuss this while the children are up. Your children should not be in your business. Your children should not be able to speak or say anything that you said in an argument, because your children are going to grow up doing that same behavior. So it is important that your children not know when y'all are having issues, because then your children feel like they can be an adult and be in your business and be in grown folks' conversation. So you have to be very mindful of that. Don't be like, well, I'm going to have my teenager daughter on my side and she going to go off on you, and then you wonder why she going to school being grown and getting pregnant and all this and thinking she in a relationship with somebody and can't even pay her own bills. No, sir. No, ma'am. When you are getting in a debate or a confrontational situation with your significant other, like my husband said, wait until the kids are in bed. Keep your voices down. Talk like two adults. I call that time pillow talk. Me and my husband can sit. We talk about other things in pillow talk, but if I'm upset with him or he's upset with me, we can sit there and talk like two adults, come to a resolution, and go to bed holding each other. But if y'all talking and one person yelling and the children sleep, the children gonna wake up thinking fighting, and God forbid that's gonna leave a scar on them. I grew up watching family members argue and then emulating that same behavior without even realizing it until I was actually doing it. My mom was in an abusive relationship, and I used to always say to her when she would get hit or we'll jump in the little her getting hit, we'll try to fight the man and everything too. I always said to her, I ain't gonna never be like you in no abusive relationship. And from 2006 to 2008, I was in an abusive relationship. I had bit my own words and didn't even know how to get out of it. Why? Because didn't nobody teach me when I was younger. You get those whole grown folks talking, go upstairs. But if you're heated and you're and mad and angry about something, your first mind sometimes isn't to be, well, let me make the kids go to bed and then we talk. You be ready to cut up. But you have to think about your children and their legacy and the imprint you'll leave on them. So remember, when you're getting into a situation like that, make sure you guys are in the room with the door closed, talking like two adults. Meaning the baby should not be able to hear outside of the four walls, which y'all discussing. Right. And able to tell you the next morning. So I just wanted to say that.
But no, I wasn't finna say much. Other than that, y'all, we definitely want to remind y'all that of our YouTube channel, the &S Love Chronicles on YouTube. Please go and subscribe to our channel, y'all. Go there, share it, like it. This video will also be posted there. So for those of y'all who missed the video in the beginning, y'all missed some really good stuff. Y'all can go back and catch it on YouTube. Share the video, thumbs up it, like it, subscribe. We just come on Facebook Live because we were live streaming them both at the same time. We come on here, because we love y'all and we just want to get some feedback on how we feel about certain things, and we just like to talk to y'all. So we definitely, what we can do to help, we can. And here's my disclaimer. Our relationship isn't perfect. Our marriage isn't perfect. We don't put off a facade that our marriage is perfect. We have problems. We argue. Sometimes we don't agree. Sometimes we ain't on the same page.
But what relationship or marriage is perfect? That's my question. If it's somebody in this conversation right now that can put some little hands up, emoji your hands or something, say that's perfect. Please teach me how we can be like y'all.
Because no relationship, I don't care how long y'all been married, I don't care if both of y'all, you husband and wife and both of y'all are pastors. Nobody's relationship is perfect. Y'all have problems, y'all argue, y'all go through something. But what makes your marriage or your relationship is perfect is not putting on a facade. It's how you deal with stuff when you hit that rough point. So just keep that in mind, y'all. But anyway, like I was saying, make sure y'all go on YouTube and subscribe, y'all. That's just where we are going to be doing the majority of our work. I did want to ask real quick though, before we go, do anybody have any other questions
or anything they want to say?
Anything they want to talk about real quick? We don't mind helping y'all. We ain't got to go to work or nothing in the morning. Happy Labor Day. But so we got time if y'all need us. The kids asleep, so we'll probably just watch a movie or something. Not necessarily Netflix and chill, but hey, Lord willing. But but anyway, y'all, if y'all got any questions, comments, something y'all just want to ask, without getting too personal or too in depth, We'll be glad to answer y'all questions. Like I said, we ain't perfect. If y'all coming on here thinking that we're putting off the image that our marriage is perfect, log out of this video right now. Y'all never have to watch another thing we say. But we're not perfect. We're so far from it. We're trying to learn this thing just like y'all. It's probably people watching this video who's been married longer than us. Probably people watching this video who's been married more times than us. But every marriage can learn something from another marriage. I'm a firm believer in that. And for people who are single on their way to getting married, there's something you can learn from watching a married couple. You can learn from watching them go through, and you can see them love each other, and you'll never know how deep down they were in it. You'll never know how close they were to signing them papers. Papers probably was in their house, and they was waiting on the other person's signature, but because they fixed it and they never posted it on Facebook and invited people into their personal business,
you never knew they even was in the trenches. And that's what I was saying earlier when me and Steven was talking, going through what we went through.
Hey, I can't really see you.
When we was going through what we went through or whatever, y'all never knew because I never got on here telling how I was feeling. I never got on here saying if I was doing anything or Steven was doing anything. I kept my business to myself. I went to God about it. At that time when I was so angry and just couldn't bubble in, I maybe went to one of the other two people about it I'm very close with. Other than that, I don't even tell my friends my business like that because you never know who's waiting to be with your husband. There were people that were close to me. I know they're close to me, probably want my husband because he supports me so hard with my business. Because that y'all can see he loves me unconditionally. So I'm never going to be a fool and get on here and tell y'all, well, Steven this, Steven that, blah, blah, blah. No. My husband ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. But together, we can make this thing work. And that's what people got to realize. Marriage is work. People be so quick and ready to want to get married. But the honeymoon phase burns out. I don't care who right now in a marriage or a relationship. Eventually all that hunching stops, all that I'm so in love stops, and at that point that's when you gotta work to keep it. You have to work by having quality time, as my baby say. And what I love about Steven is he makes sure we find a way to get that quality time in. It means so much to him that we get that quality time in. It's in that quality time, that's when you exchange and get to know one another. Because I don't care how long we are on earth, you'll never get to fully know your partner. Every day you can learn something new about them. And the only time you can learn that new thing is by communicating. Spending time. You evolve over the time. You don't stay the same person. Me and Steven are not the same people we were when we got married. We done grew some. We done been through some things. We've invested some things into each other in so many different ways. So you stay evolving, but the key thing is keeping that love alive. Keeping that passion alive. And you only could do that with quality time, communicating, spending time. And as my sister Ashley said earlier in her live video, light some candles with a peanut butter jelly sandwich. It ain't about spending money to have quality time. It is about just getting together, putting the kids to bed. Because sometimes you go through a rough spot. Is a rough spot an excuse to not go on a date? No. Make a date. It was one time my husband actually made a picnic in our living room on the floor because we did not have the money to go on a date. When you want the quality time, you make the time. Don't get frustrated with your spouse and say, well, to hell with this marriage or to hell with this relationship because you ain't got the money to take me out or buy me things. Well, what was your relationship based on in the first place? If it was monetary, it ain't going to last. But if you fell in love with them because of who they are, what they've invested in your heart, in your mind, in your spirit, most importantly, then you're going to do whatever you can to keep that relationship up. So if that means ramen noodles with a glass of water and 2 candles with the lights dim and some music off the iPad just to have time, that type of stuff right there, when you go through that, that's what make you hold on to your marriage when you get in the best of times in your marriage. Because you look back on them times and be like, dang, babe, we really went through all that. You be like, wow, we really went through all of that. And it makes you love the person even the more because in spite of what the enemy tried to do to break our marriage up, look where we at today. Makes you appreciate it more. So you have to remember, Make the time for your spouse. Create.
That's fine.
Create. Oh, I thought that was star. Create the area you want to have a romantic date. Google ways to have a date. Google is your best friend, honey. I'm trying to tell you. When you want to get creative and you ain't got the money to take your spouse on a date, get on Google. Get some ideas. But you got to put the work and the time in. It is work to be married. It is work to be in a relationship. It's work to build any relationship. It's up to you to keep the relationship positive and keep it going. But at the end of the day, it's a choice. It all starts with a choice of a simple yes or no. Do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? But it's unfair to make somebody stay in something when you know deep down you do not want to be there. So you have to make that choice that you want to invest. A relationship in a marriage, doggone it, she woke up. A relationship in a marriage is an investment. It's not a cakewalk in the park. So you have to look at it in order. You can't always make withdrawals when you go to the bank, right? You got to have money. You go to the bank. The money represents what both of y'all invested. When you withdraw, you each take something from the marriage to help build your character as a person, to help build you over time in life. You know, see, it's important that you constantly deposit. You got to keep money in the bank in order to swipe your card, right? So you got to constantly deposit in your marriage or your relationship in order to get a return off of it. The return is, i.e., what me and Steven are doing right now. We can get on Facebook Live. Okay, I was trying to breastfeed. We can get on Facebook Live and talk to y'all about what we've been through, because while we deposit in our marriage, we've had some good and bad deposits in our marriage, but at the end of the day, because of the deposits we made, now we can give a return out and help somebody else. So you have to remember, it's important to remember your relationship is an investment. It's not just, oh, we're going to get together, have hot sex, go on these shopping sprees, go and do this, do that. You're going to have hard times. No relationship is perfect. But are you the perfect person to weather the storm for me with? That's stuff you have to ask yourself. Because it be so many people just dying to be in a relationship and dying to, want to know what it's like to be with somebody. But are you really ready for that? You when you get in a relationship, it's important, like Steven say, my breast out. You don't forget about yourself. Sorry, y'all, I'm breastfeeding. You don't forget about yourself, because at the